It has been about 3 years now since Matt Reeves' The Batman debuted, and we still are likely years away from a sequel, if it ever happens. The movie was originally slated to release in the fall of 2025, and here we are a few months away and nothing. Since then, it has been pushed back twice and now sitting at a rumored October 2027 release. Rumors and discussions have started swirling around the topic of the Batman, so I wanted to express my feelings and emotions towards it. First, I know Matt Reeves is an absolute perfectionist in his craft, and for that reason, some will say he can be very difficult to work with because of how detailed oriented he is. I'm talking about detailed to a micro level. He will rewrite, reshoot, take 2, take 3, 4, 5, 6, take infinity until it is exactly how he wants it to be. If the actor is off place by a centimeter, take 2. One eye blink too many, take 3. So on and so forth. For that reason alone, sometimes his projects may see a bit of an extension without studio interference so much. But that is not the case with the Batman, or at least it doesn't seem like that's the case. As a die-hard Batman fan and a fan of The Batman, I would be lying if I told you I wasn't getting a little bit worried with regard to the continuation of Matt Reeves' The Batman story. We have not had any concrete news that would give me absolute hope and faith that we are absolutely getting a sequel moving forward. In fact, there are more red flags than anything else. But I remain optimistic through it all. Pattinson himself said in a not too long ago interview when asked about his own status on filming the sequel, quote, "I fucking hope so. I started out as young Batman, and I'm going to be fucking old Batman by the sequel." Folks, let's talk about the fact that we have moved into this new era of DC films and projects under James Gunn. Mostly everything from the DCEU has been left alone, left behind, with the exception of some of Gunn's selective pieces from his own projects that were part of that universe. Now, what the Batman does have working for it is that while it did debut while the DCEU was still alive, albeit the DCEU having nothing short of a faint heartbeat hooked up to life support, the Batman was never part of the DCEU and has no connection, just like the Joker was. It was a self-contained story and a self-contained world. So for that reason, it can continue on with its story under the James Gunn regime. While James Gunn did say the Batman has no place in his universe, it is understood that the Batman would continue its story as an Elseworlds movie like other movies projected under the new regime. I'm just merely stating the facts here. I agree with Gunn. Including the Batman into the same world with his Superman movie and the movies to follow would completely ruin Superman and that universe and would ruin the Batman as well. Tonally, they are completely different and clash in every way imaginable. The Batman is far more grounded and practical comparatively, as James Gunn's world of Superman is far more fantastical. James already has plans for a new Batman in the Brave and the Bold movie that will be a part of this new DCU and sharing the world with Superman and other heroes. And he does not want multiple Batman characters coexisting in the same world. And I can't agree more. Amidst the conversations about the sequel to the Batman, another rumor has surfaced regarding Matt Reeves' personal life and health, stating that that's at least a reason why the movie has been slow getting off the ground with a script. A script that is now rumored to have just started or in its preliminary stages, but not yet finished. I can't validate the validity of these rumors. I'm not an insider. I can't get the scoop from sources close to people in the know, but I will tell you, I have seen worse rumors and excuses put out into the airwaves to quiet down discussions and put inquiring people to bed, at least temporarily. If the rumor is true, I wish the man good health and good recovery through a difficult time. And if it's false, a huge middle finger to anyone that put this out into existence. As time moves on and these tidbits of information and rumors start to mount, my doubt and lack of faith in the progression of Matt Reeves' story will only get larger. I loved The Batman. It was damn near a perfect movie to me. It was the best visual representation of Gotham that we have ever got in a Batman film. It was the first modern day Batman film where I felt we were actually diving more into a Batman story. Batman's character arc as opposed to Bruce Wayne. I felt like I was on a crime-solving adventure with Batman the entire film, and I loved it. Something out of the Detective Comics. We were introduced to this younger version of Batman who still has much to learn in terms of character growth and development, and as the movie went on, he slowly started to understand that maybe his ideas of how to be an effective Caped Crusader and a symbol was a bit off. The characters around him that shared this Gotham with him that we were introduced to were well developed as well. Reeves did an exceptional job implementing quite a bit of marquee players without overstaying their welcome or being left into the shadows too long. Anyway, this isn't a review of The Batman, but I would be extremely disappointed if The Batman 2 was canceled for whatever reason. Especially after we got a spin-off television series, The Penguin, that was widely beloved by critics and audiences. And I can tell you myself, that television series thus far is an absolute gem, an absolute masterpiece. Talk about an exceptional criminal character study. Sheesh! The Penguin only left me salivating for more build-up, more stories inside of Matt Reeves' world. Speaking of The Penguin, there was also news that Season 2 of The Penguin may be affected because of events that may or may not happen in The Batman, which for all we know does not have a complete script. Events that happen in The Penguin can't conflict with events in The Batman 2 since these stories are connected in the world. The Penguin can't operate outside of The Batman in a way that would disrupt continuity. I would imagine all writers and execs are discussing these things behind doors, but who knows anymore? So often these days I hear actors and other film affiliates talk about how much radio silence there is at times when it comes to ironing out these kinds of things. So who knows? Anyway, I'm just venting and opening up discussion at the end of the day. Hopeful that we can continue with the stories and building of Matt Reeves' Batman world. Hopefully that one day soon we can see that symbol in the sky again. And to steal something from James Gunn's Superman, look up. That's a wrap for today's episode. I appreciate each and every one of you for stepping in, showing your love, showing your support, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Now I could sit here and smack you all around with the generic like, comment, subscribe BS, but nobody gives a damn about that. So do whatever the hell you want to do, because you're going to do it anyway. Now, I'm going to give you to the count of 10 to get your ugly, yellow, no good keister off my property before I pump your guts full of lead. I am Boo, and I am out.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.